Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a deep dive into ALTIMMUNE Incorporated, ticker symbol ALT. If you're following the biotech sector, interested in obesity and metabolic disease treatments, or just want to stay updated on an innovative small-cap stock, this video is for you. Over the next 18 minutes, we'll break down what ALTIMMUNE does, the latest news and clinical updates, stock performance, financial health, analyst sentiment, and what the future could hold for this ambitious biotech. Let's start with the basics. ALTIMMUNE is a clinical-stage biopharmaceutical company focused on developing novel peptide-based therapeutics for obesity, metabolic, and liver diseases. Their lead product candidate is pemvidutide, a dual GLP-1/glucagon receptor agonist designed to address obesity and metabolic-associated steatohepatitis, or MASH. With obesity and related metabolic disorders on the rise globally, ALTIMMUNE's work is attracting a lot of attention from both investors and the medical community. So, what exactly is pemvidutide and why is it important? Pemvidutide is a peptide-based drug that targets two key hormonal pathways involved in regulating appetite and metabolism. By activating both the GLP-1 and glucagon receptors, pemvidutide aims to provide more effective weight loss and metabolic benefits compared to drugs that target just one pathway. This approach has placed ALTIMMUNE in the competitive landscape alongside big names like Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, who have seen massive success with their own GLP-1-based drugs for obesity and diabetes. Now, let's talk about the latest clinical news. ALTIMMUNE has been advancing pemvidutide through clinical trials for obesity and MASH. The company recently completed a Phase 2 trial for obesity, which showed promising results in terms of both weight loss and tolerability. According to company updates, patients treated with pemvidutide achieved substantial weight loss with a favorable safety profile, positioning the drug as a potential competitor to established therapies. The company is also pursuing additional indications for pemvidutide, leveraging its differentiated clinical profile to potentially treat a broader range of metabolic diseases. In addition to obesity, ALTIMMUNE is targeting MASH, a form of fatty liver disease that is becoming increasingly common. There are currently no approved therapies for MASH, making it a significant unmet medical need. The company's ongoing clinical development in this area could open up a large market opportunity if successful. Let's shift gears and look at the stock's recent performance. ALT has experienced significant volatility, which is typical for clinical-stage biotech companies. As of late June 2025, ALTIMMUNE's share price was around $7.13, with a 52-week range from $3.55 to $11.16. The stock has seen spikes around positive clinical updates and periods of selling pressure when markets have been risk-off or when biotech sentiment has cooled. The trading volume has also been elevated, with recent days seeing as much as 6 million shares traded versus a 3 million average. Market capitalization currently sits at about $567 million, putting ALTIMMUNE firmly in the small-cap biotech category. The company does not pay a dividend, which is typical for a firm at this stage of development. It's worth noting that the stock is trading at a significant premium to its fair value, according to Morningstar's quantitative ratings, with the current price about 18% above the estimated fair value of $12.12. This suggests that investors are optimistic about the company's prospects, likely due to the promise of pemvidutide and the large addressable markets it targets. Now, let's talk about the financials. ALTIMMUNE, like most clinical-stage biotechs, is not yet profitable and relies on cash reserves to fund its research and development activities. The company's balance sheet is relatively strong, with a current ratio of 15.85 and a quick ratio of 15.54, indicating a solid liquidity position. However, return metrics are negative, with a return on assets of -46.93% and a return on equity of -52.22%. These figures reflect the high costs of running clinical trials and the lack of commercial products generating revenue at this stage. ALTIMMUNE's capital allocation is focused on advancing its clinical pipeline, especially pemvidutide. The company has about 81 million shares outstanding, and its cash position gives it some runway to complete ongoing trials and potentially move toward regulatory submissions if results continue to be positive. Investors should expect continued cash burn until the company either secures a partnership, licensing deal, or moves closer to commercialization. Turning to analyst and market sentiment, ALTIMMUNE is viewed as a high-risk, high-reward play in the biotech sector. The uncertainty rating on the stock is very high, reflecting both the potential for significant upside if pemvidutide succeeds and the risks inherent in clinical development. Analyst coverage is limited, but the consensus is that ALTIMMUNE's differentiated approach and positive clinical data make it a company to watch in the obesity and metabolic disease space. Let's compare ALTIMMUNE to its sector peers. The company's price-to-book ratio is 3.83, which is higher than the sector average, reflecting investor optimism about its pipeline. Its price-to-sales ratio is not meaningful at this stage, as the company does not yet have product sales. Compared to other technology and healthcare companies, ALTIMMUNE's valuation metrics are typical for a firm with promising but unproven assets. Now, let's discuss some of the key risks and opportunities facing ALTIMMUNE. On the risk side, the biggest challenge is clinical and regulatory uncertainty. While pemvidutide has shown strong results so far, there is always the risk that later-stage trials could reveal safety or efficacy issues that weren't apparent in earlier studies. The company is also competing against much larger firms with established products and significant resources. Any delays or setbacks in the clinical program could put pressure on the stock and the company's ability to raise additional capital. Another risk is market competition. The GLP-1 space is crowded, and while dual agonists like pemvidutide have theoretical advantages, they will need to show clear clinical benefits to gain market share. There is also the ever-present risk of dilution, as ALTIMMUNE may need to raise more money through equity offerings to fund its operations. On the opportunity side, the potential rewards are significant. The global obesity drug market is projected to grow rapidly, and a successful entrant could see blockbuster sales. If pemvidutide continues to deliver strong clinical results and gains regulatory approval, ALTIMMUNE could become a major player in this space. The company's focus on MASH also positions it to address another large, underserved market. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next update. Drop your questions and thoughts in the comments. Are you bullish on ALTIMMUNE, or do you see more risk than reward? Let's discuss. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.